Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast. My name is Adam, that's Jake, and we're back again for another great episode. On tonight's episode, we have 5 products bought but not really used, a home GymCon update, single column trainer data, new products from Bells of Steel, Titan, and Rogue, and more. Jake.
All right. Thank you, Adam. So one of our Instagram posts last week was what's a product that you have bought in the past and you just never use anymore. So I think we got a lot of like standard answers like jammer arms and battle rope. There wasn't really anything too shocking in there, and there were pretty much a lot of consistent themes. But over the last 7-8 years, I've definitely purchased a lot. I've been sent a lot, and I have a good amount of experience of kind of disowning gym equipment. I think a few of these might be shocking to a lot of people, but the first one that comes to my mind is multi-purpose bars. So I'm your pretty standard, do a little bit of everything type of person that works out. So I do the powerlifting movements. I'll do a CrossFit type workout every once in a while. I'll do some Olympic lifts every once in a while. But one thing that I just don't use unless I only had this bar would be a multi-purpose bar for any of those workouts. So, if I'm bench squatting or deadlifting, I definitely prefer a power bar. And then if I'm doing something with clean and jerks or whatever, I'm going to use a bar with bearings. So that takes away most multi-purpose bars. So if I was building out a home gym again, I would most likely not buy a multi-purpose bar. Secondly, this one, I can see a lot of people hating this answer, but sleds. I think sleds are an awesome workout, and I actually love using them. However, I'm a little self-conscious about attracting a lot of attention, and I don't really want to do sleds in front of all my neighbors, sled pushes in front of all my neighbors. So it's not about disliking the sleds. I've had the Zbex sleds, and they are awesome. I've had Torque sleds, they're awesome. But I just never find myself using them. And my indoor space isn't enough to really take advantage. Number 3 is flat bench. So I've owned several flat benches over the years, and just I'm not a dedicated power lifter, and I'm not I'm not looking for specific specs. So a flat bench just really didn't ever get used. You couldn't store it upright unless you absolutely needed to, and an adjustable bench did the job for me. Number 4 was a pretty standard answer, but the inertia wave and the battle ropes. So again, using them, but just for whatever reason over the years, just they collected dust. I will say I definitely prefer the inertia wave compared to the battle ropes, just because they are a little bit more easier to store and set up and use. But yeah, neither of them really got used. And then the last thing I have here is really anything that takes several minutes to set up or more, specifically if you are trying to change it during a workout. So if it's a multi-use piece of equipment, it's usually just is it good enough for one thing, because I probably won't change it out too often. So for example, I mentioned this on a recent podcast, just moving the isolator, difficult, or a recent blog post, I should say. The UPS low, I love the UPS high, but the UPS low row just never really got used. Even the Scout Hyper. So I did go through a phase where I just left it up all the time and it got used. But if I have to fold it up, put the weights on, take the weights off again at the end of the workout, I just never found myself using it. I've usually found alternatives for any of those movements, whether it's low row or preacher curls or whatever. So anything that you need to update multiple times during the workout and it takes a few minutes, most likely just isn't going to happen. So those are 5 examples for me. Adam, you have any thoughts?
A couple that just like reign true for myself as well. Multi-purpose bar, after using a power bar and not doing Olympic movements anymore, like the power bar is just the way to go. I use it for everything. And then I can also like echo the Scout Hyper. When I have it folded up and put in its spot, it takes a lot for me to want to drag it out. I do go through seasons where it is set up and I use it every warm up because I need it. But if it's not set up, ready to go, if it's tucked away somewhere, I don't want to go through the process of bringing it out. So, yeah, I hear you on that one.
Amen, sister. All right, next up, a little Home Gym Con update. So we are up to 69 vendors. So added a few vendors last week. Which is awesome. I think the overall space filled is about 20% higher than last year already. We also secured a host hotel in Louisville, so we'll be working most specifically with just one hotel. It is the Galt House. It's kind of a well-known hotel in that area, downtown area. It overlooks the river. It's connected to the convention center. You don't even have to go outside to get to the convention center. There's like a tunnel that will take you there. It's not a chain. It's so a little background on the process is you pretty much like submit a bid, and then you get kind of like these hotels reaching out to you to say like, hey, well, we can give you this amount of room, and this is the cost. So, I think there were like 8 hotels that kind of made their bids, and this one was the one that like really stood out the most. And I wanted kind of as close to the community feel as possible, so I wanted to work with just one. So the Galt House was the choice. The others were kind of like more chains, whereas this is more of a local, unique feel to it. So I think everyone will like it. The rates will be $199 or $219 a night, which is pretty good for this hotel. Anything else I wanted to say for that?
Steps away from like bars and restaurants and the big street. Was it 4th Street in Louisville there?
Yes. So 4th Street is kind of the happening place, big bar scene, and then there's also like a baseball field, there's a park, there's quite a bit to do down there. But it is connected to 4th Street as well, which is like kind of like if you're familiar with like Broadway Street in Nashville, this is like a mini Broadway Street in Nashville, or like, a very mini bar strip. We don't have a room block link yet, but that should be coming any day now. So just be on the lookout for that. And then just like as we talk about the hotel, we have certain numbers that we need to hit and monitor. So just it's really helpful for as many early signups as possible to kind of like tell us where we are and where we need to go, or what sort of numbers we need to hit later on. So just really appreciate that. If you already know you're coming, sign up through the link. You don't have to pay right away. So yeah, hotel update. And then lastly, the Garage Gym Games. I'm not going to go into much of that, but we made an announcement that is going to happen in Home Gym Con, something that I wanted to happen last year, but it just didn't come together in time. But very excited to kind of slowly but surely build that out in public and see what everybody thinks. Some data. So a few weeks ago, GetRx released a few new standalone single columns. They have a wall-mounted RX3 and then a standalone RX3. And, Adam and I were both pretty impressed. It seems like a pretty good price, and it includes features in between some of the best and also some of the lowest. So we simply wanted to ask, so what are you going to choose? Like, if you had the option to add today, which one are you adding to the home gym? We included prices in this comparison, so you could either choose like top of the line Prime Prodigy, which is going to be closer to like 4,500. The Rep Adonis or Rogue CTM, right around a little under $3,000. GetRX new options are going to be between like 1,400 and 1,800, and then the Bells of Steel cable tower will be 1129 if it's selectorized. So a lot of different price differences. The easy winner was the Rep or the Rogue options. About 52% voted there. The most budget-friendly Bells of Steel received 22%. GetRX with 14%, and then 12% for the Prime Prodigy. Adam, which one did you vote for?
Rep Adonis. Something with like the overextending where you can do like a true lat pull down was big in my fictitious vote here. And then it also had to like work as a functional tower too. Rep and Rogue both offer that, so those were the two that like, stuck out to me. Prime also offers that, but the price on the other two just they edge it out. So
yeah,
what were your feelings on this?
I would agree. I'd go with the Adonis or CTM, but the GetRX option is a close second. I do like the
remind me of the price on that one again.
It's like right now you can get the standalone pre-order for like 14 something. I think when it's non-pre-order it'll be like 16, 1700. Yeah. So like almost half the price of, or maybe like 60% the price of like the Rep option. So yeah. So I can definitely see, I definitely see this. I would agree. I would go with that. Like if I had the choice and budget and all that in mind. But I can definitely see if there are a lot of positive reviews of this GetRX option, that number kind of growing and taking away some of the Rogue and Rep votes.
Yeah, or someone, being able to show you how to manipulate it, kind of like a Porter with the Bells of Steel. You know.
Good point. All right, and then just wanted to give a quick congrats to Darko. So the Darko
awesome
Longy Bar and Shorty Bar are now available on Rogue's website. That's pretty cool. I got like an email like 3 or 4 days ago, and I also saw it before that, but pretty cool. Props to Darko. I think there are a few other products he has that they should also consider. I'm surprised. Anchor, yes.
Yeah, and then the chest supported pad. I know Rogue has their own, but they also carry competing products in their catalog for other variations of stuff. All of this stuff is super well done. Yeah, I agree with you. The Anchor for sure. It's so unique.
Yeah, for sure. I can definitely see more eventually being so fun fact, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago I heard like, and this was like when Rogue was the biggest player and there wasn't as much competition, or like the competition wasn't as close as maybe it is today, but I heard like, and how Rogue has always had their own brand and they've always had like selling supplemental brands like what they're doing with Darko. So it's like a big e-commerce company. I heard from somebody like if you get your brand onto Rogue's website, it is like a total game changer. Like it changes your business big time. I'm sure it helps today a lot. But I'm not sure if it helps as much as back then. But that was something that I wanted to do with Garage Gym Experiment. Like I never really wanted to do like reviews and all of this. I wanted it to be an e-commerce website, and I wanted to like kind of replicate the Rogue non-Rogue stuff and put it all in one store, and did it for like, I don't know, 6-8 months, and had like sold like gymnastics rings and ab mats with the GGE logo on it, and fat grips, like bought stuff wholesale, sold it on the website for like 6-8 months, and like it was hard. it was like my office was just full of like these random pieces of gym equipment, and I think I like eventually sold everything, but definitely lost a fair amount of money. I think if thinking back 5-6 years, if would have stuck at it, it'd be at a really good place right now. Like it could be a really cool e-commerce store. Like I wanted it to be like, REI.
Yeah. Co-op.
Like I wanted it to be like the REI for gym equipment. Like just like a cool branded store that you could get gym equipment. But that's stuff's intense when it comes to like shipping and making a profit with buying wholesale and then plus shipping cost. It was hard. But so fun fact, my Rogue's model right here inspired something that never happened. And then lastly, let's run down some of the new products over the past like 10 days or so. So the Hydra Universal Storage System is a modular, versatile storage system from Bells of Steel, where you can add like medicine balls, plates, dumbbells, kettlebells. So in comparison to like Rep, it has a little more like height and width options. So 5 height options all the way up to 90, 3 width options. I think the closest one is like 30 inches. So that's pretty important if you have 30 inches of wall space, you can choose something as thin. I don't think there's anything else, anybody else who offers like a 30-inch width option, for example, unless you did some sort of custom work. Some other like insights from that is it wasn't really cheaper than Reps. If you added the color options, it was pricier than Reps. Like the purple and blue added a substantial cost to it. So like the really good values would be like, and then also the dumbbell storage option was quite a bit more expensive than all the others. I would say like if you choose the basics, it's a good value, but if you need to like really customize it or specifically do all dumbbells, it's gonna add up in price quick. 10 new manta ray colors, so that was reason a lot of people were like, I'll go with Rep because there's a lot more Rep colors to choose from, whereas the manta ray only had one color for a long time. Now there's 11 total colors. Titan's now selling turf at a pretty decent price. Bells of Steel added the Hydra 7 ring bar, so it includes 7 marks. So it includes a powerlifting, a weightlifting, I should say dual powerlifting, dual weightlifting, dual close marks, and then I think a center. So we saw the Statera bar at Statera weight bar at Home Gym Con. I think that has like 18 neural marks, and they were all different colors. So this one's a little bit more simplified version of that. And then lastly, Bells of Steel also released a Buffalo bar. I would say I've used the Titan Yukon bar, and I thought it was pretty decent for the price, but the neural was just like pretty much as like weak as possible. Bells of Steel labels this as an aggressive neural, which is like something you would want with this type of bar. So obviously no one's used it yet, but I think that's the way to go if you want a lower level priced Buffalo bar. And
that's it. I hope more people start selling turf. I love that idea.
Oh,
like
I know.
219. That was great. I always wanted like just like one strip of turf.
So I was kind of considering it, but it's like I think it's for like 3/8 inch. It's 3/8 inch tall. So I feel like if I made a strip of that next to my horse stall mats, there'd be like a big indent, and it might
you'd have to like buy the right like maybe
maybe
plywood
like
and lay it down
plywood. Okay, that would be cool actually. Or I wonder if you could just get like, I have rolls of carpet. Ooh, maybe that would work. So yeah, that would be cool.
Be cool.
And then I did like a quick search on like other turf pricing, and it's all like custom. You have to like fill out how much space you have, and it's most likely a lot more expensive than this. I know Freedom Fitness Equipment does that, and I'm guessing it's somewhat affordable. But it's just so easy to buy. So, and then I am I'm going out with Kyle to Fargo to visit PRX. And I would say might be one of the cooler things I get to do ever, like with Garage Gym Experiment. So I'm going to do some sort of moderating podcast between PRX, Kyle, and Britton.
Oh,
and
okay.
I mean,
is Britton like phoning in?
No, I think Britton's going.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
wow.
Do some sort, and I've like just made it clear, like, gonna have to, like, Kyle, gonna have to ask you hard questions. PRX might have to ask you some hard questions. So like, no, but that should be cool.
It's like my nightmare. I'm like so anti-confrontational. I'll be like, oh, I don't know. Just everyone be happy, okay?
I don't think there'll be any confrontation.
No,
I think it'll be like
nice guys. Everyone's a nice guy. Yeah.
I think the situation's sort of being figured out. Everyone's in a good spot. But I still think it'll be a nice like conversation, and I think like this whole situation was kind of new to everybody, and nobody knew exactly what to do. So hopefully it will kind of set some standards going forward. Like, do this. Is this cool? Is this not cool? Here's what you should do, and here's what I would have done differently. So those sorts of things. So Sweet. That'll happen in like a week and a half or so.
I'll be listening.
All right. Well,
should get some sweet hikes too, huh?
Fargo? I don't think so.
No, I don't think they have like the they have like mountains and shit out there, right?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
no.
Okay. Great Plains, huh?
I think it's pretty flat there.
I was picturing the Mount Rushmore.
I think it's hours away from that.
Gotcha.
I think it's closer to Minnesota. It's like pretty close to Minnesota.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the lost part of America, the Dakotas and such. So, all right, well, that's going to do it for us. If you like tonight's episode, be sure to keep your eye out for new episode releases wherever you listen to podcasts. And be sure to follow Knurled News. Not subscribed yet? Check out the link below and sign up for more home gym content. Jake, anything else left for these fine listeners?
Nope.
All right, guys, we'll catch you next time. See ya.